You know I try to be a good man, I always give it my best. But truth be told, someday I wanna go to the wild, wild way.
And now, live from our Smokehouse studio, it's time for Real Estate Jerky. All your real estate questions answered by our provocatively lean expert hosts, Edward Ed Parco, MBA veteran and president of Lending for Living, and the refreshingly wise realtor, Erin Custer, specializing in residential, commercial, and ag real estate at PMZ Real Estate. Mortgage and real estate wisdom stretching over 50 years. Plenty to chew on, starting now.
Hey, good afternoon. It's great to be with you here today with my co-host, Erin Custer, and we have a special guest today, Mel Bradley. How you doing, Mel?
Excellent.
I guess there, try it again.
Excellent.
There, we can hear you now. And Mel is doing double duty today. He's the reason we're calling this show Sunshine and Lemonade. Mel has turned his motto, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade, into not only living, but the way of life. Regular listeners have heard Erin tease me about my cycling, and I know Mel as a volunteer coach for the Leukemia Lymphoma Society team in training. And I even did that last year, but unfortunately got hurt right before the actual ride and wasn't able to do it. And this is a fundraising ride for around Lake Tahoe. Mel also has a solar energy company, and he's selling and installing freestanding solar power systems. And so today we're going to cover a few things. So what's going on there with you, Erin?
Oh, like my best thing?
If you want to jump into that again, go ahead.
Oh.
We don't control you. You do what you want.
So,
we all know you're the boss of the show.
I am, huh? It turned out to be that way, didn't it?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So, my 6-month-old granddaughter, who I just got from my son Kevin, she just sat up this week and crawled for the first time, and I got to see it. And on because we can FaceTime, so that was personal. And the best thing that happened to me business-wise, I have a good friend. Her son wanted to buy a house. He worked with another realtor for some time. He changed his mind, and then she called and she said, "Call my son." So I called you, and you raced up there and had him approved in about 4 seconds. And now we're looking for houses. And so it's been a busy, busy, busy week, and I'm pretty happy.
Great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I want to see your Superman cape.
Yeah, whatever.
Hey, what's the best thing that happened to you this week?
Actually,
since you didn't tease me at all.
Well, that was last week.
I know. You don't have anything to tease me about.
Yeah. Actually, this week, it's been a crazy week.
Hasn't
It's been
it?
extremely busy with people. You know, I know everybody talks about seeing the downturn and they've seen everything's going to slow down. I have more people wanting to buy homes than I've had in a few years.
That's true.
And there's so many I have pre-approved looking for homes.
I know. I
just
have
trying
20
to
of them on
find-
my board.
Yeah. I have 35 total
Yeah.
right now. And then it keeps adding to that daily.
Yeah. Every day.
Yeah.
I'm getting a call.
So eventually, through in the next few months, those will all be gone and new ones will be in. But
I know, huh?
it's just getting there.
Yeah.
So Mel, what you don't know is our show. We always go through and we say, "What's the best thing that happened to you this week?"
Oh, wow. Well, I think the best thing is I ended up picking up 2 corporate sponsors for our team and training team. And each one of those guys gave us $2,500. So it was a really good fundraising weekend.
That's really good.
Super good.
You going to do that with him, Erin? You going to fundraise for him?
Sure. If you're working with me, I'll do it.
All right. Well, I'm still trying to ride the ride. It's just a matter of whether I can get off on the Saturdays to do it.
And we pretty much talked about this. I used to be heavily involved in service, and then when my dad got sick, I stopped and just took care of him. And so then when he passed away, I need to get involved again. So I'm really looking at different venues and things to do. You need a little while to settle down, and then a couple shots of whiskey, and then you're back out there, huh?
Something like that.
I'm just teasing, of course.
Of course.
No alcohol.
Yeah, whatever. We know you do. And it's okay as long as you don't overdoing it.
Hey, I want to know how you got through last show without ever talking about rates. So I'm going to really pummel you this show.
You know, and actually I was thinking about that because we had our credit show and interest rates last week.
And you never talked about rates.
I didn't talk about rates, but I was thinking how we didn't relate the actual interest, the credit score to interest rates.
Right. You got.
Because basically, we good?
That put you on the hot seat, and you got off the hot seat. You never talked about one rate. I asked you probably 3 or 4 times, and you just went into something else. So this time, I'm going to ask. You're not getting away with it.
It's not so much about what rates are. It's about how your FICO score affects your rate, right? Your interest rate. Because basically the higher your FICO score is, normally the better your interest rate is and the programs you can do. Right. If you have a low FICO score, you're limited to what you can do with that FICO, with the programs that are out there. Right.
Yes.
And so that's why we always want to work with somebody, even though we run their credit and they might have a 680 FICO score as their middle, which is a decent credit score. We still work with them trying to get them to a 720 if that's possible. So that way they can have more opportunities to get the better rate.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that yesterday it was really amazing watching you work and say, well, we got there and, all I want to know is how much house can I buy? What's their payment? Do they know what it is? Right. And am I good to go? And you were just, you know what? Maybe if you do this, maybe if you put a little less down, maybe if you put it was so amazing to watch. And when he left, it was crystal clear. And so thanks.
Oh, thank you for referring them to me.
Yeah, no,
because one of the things is it's not how much I can qualify somebody for.
What they're comfortable with.
With their payment. What comfortable payment are you with?
Yeah.
Because he could have went a lot more because he made a lot more money, but he wanted a certain payment, and that's what we worked out.
Because it's his first house. He just wants to get started.
Well, you don't want to overdo it, be strapped, Some people do, and that's fine. That's what they want.
Normally, when people are doing that is when it's their second time around. And there's not 1,000 questions. They go, okay, I should have done more last time, but not with their first time buy. You don't want to really strap them out. You want to keep them with a reason.
Correct, but I mean, some of the programs like Cal Haffa, they're buying 100% financing. So what they can afford is going to push their payment and their debt to income ratio higher with that. But we have to make sure they're comfortable with the payment. Period.
But you still haven't said anything about rates today.
What do you want to know? The rates are the problem with interest rates. I can give you a generalized statement about where they're at. Okay,
FHA.
But the problem is, you can have up to 23 different things that can affect a rate for a person.
I know.
That's
just about.
What's your FICO score? What's your loan to value? What type of property it is? I mean, I could go on and go on. I can't just quote somebody a rate. I need to run their credit, know where their FICO score is, know what program they're going into, and know all that. Then I can quote a rate. And that's the same for anybody out there. So if someone's just quoting your rate, you might want to go next door to the person who wants all that information before they quote a rate.
Ooh, I just got spanked. But really, what's the what's the average FHA today? Just from 2. Go ahead.
It could be 3.99 to 4 3/8, but it could also be 5 1/8, depending on your FICO score.
So that really does reflect that the rates have kind of settled down a little bit.
We're at about a 9-month low. We said 8-month a few days ago, but
you
we're now in February.
399. That was pretty exciting.
You like that?
Yeah,
because
I did.
it's not 4%. Everybody likes.
And this isn't the car business, is it either?
It
so
has to do
399 just feels like 3.
It has to do with everything. I mean, if somebody wants a payment, $2,000 is a lot, but $1,999 is not that much.
And comparable. So let's say you're at a 399 to a 4 whatever. What is a conventional rate? Same credit score.
Probably. I quoted a gentleman yesterday 4.5.
So see, that's just so beautiful.
Yeah. So again,
rates are still lovely.
It depends on your FICO score.
Yeah, and we do have clients that go all the way up to 5%.
Well, it just depends on the program too.
Yeah.
I mean, Cal Haffa program is different than FHA and different than 20% down conventional or 50% down conventional. A lot of different things you got to know before you can quote that rate.
Okay. So.
All right,
what's
we're
next?
good there. Do you want to pick on me any more about the last show?
No, but you tried to get out of it again this time.
No, I didn't try to get out of it.
Didn't you see? He tried to get out of it. But it's okay. I'm so glad that you locked it in.
All right. I'm glad you're glad.
I'm glad you're glad.
All right. So what else do we need to talk about? You have time? Yeah, we have time. Why don't you do your listings right now?
Okay. Where's my music? All right. So I wanted to say that in San Joaquin County, we have 1,063 residential properties on the market right now. 373 closed as of January 19th. So, and they usually take like a 1-month cycle. So every week it's going to be a little bit different because they're adding the next week to the situation. And so did I say San Joaquin or Stanislaus?
San Joaquin.
Yeah. So Stanislaus,
I wasn't paying attention.
I'm liking you.
I'm not paying attention
So
to
in
what you're
Stanislaus, there's 894 houses or residential properties
That's
on
it?
the market, 894, and only 309 closed in the last 30 days, ending January 19th. So
Wow.
yeah, it's down some more.
That's hardly any homes on the market. No wonder our people can't
We
find
have
any homes.
we have 1,900 homes on the market.
And
Oh my
that's
goodness.
condos. That's
Residential property, it's
anything.
duplexes, it's anything residential. So yeah.
Yeah, so when they're talking about the market's actually, we're going really hot, there's not enough houses. That means we're getting closer again to a seller's market than we are in a
Right.
balanced market, and we were supposed to be going to a balanced market, but not right now.
So I want to talk to you about a few listings. I wanted to then reiterate that I have a luxury home in North Manteca, which is out on the new area of the new build, closer in north, and it's 836 Glen Abbey, and it's beautiful. I talked about it a little bit last week, and it is. It has master suites upstairs and down. It has laundry upstairs and down. It has a junior suite, a casita, and another office room that could be used as a bedroom. It has a large workout room. It has a gorgeous luxury kitchen. It has a beautiful custom designed dining room and walk-in closets. And it's completely landscaped front and back. And it's completely decorated inside and out, and it has custom paint. It's beautiful, nothing to do, just move in. Oh, and a custom dog run, so that's one, and that's running at $650. So if you're interested in a Manteca right across from the Del Webb build, that's available. Okay, I have a place in Salida.
Hey, can you let's take a break, and can you pick those up when we come back from
Sure,
break? All right.
sure.
So we'll be right back after this break to talk to Mel Bradley of the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. I always have problems with that word. Team in training, and we'll take your calls. We made calling so easy. You can dial pound 250 from your mobile phone, say the keyword real estate jerky, and you'll get right connected to us. That's pound 250, or as the kids say, hashtag 250. Say the key phrase real estate jerky. All right, we'll talk to you when we get back. All right, so it's harder when we're not alive.
What?
It's better when we're live because we can just postpone those. We doing all right? Yep. All right. You want them to start talking? Start talking.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Right there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay, stay right. That's where you need to be.
Okay, now you talk. I want to hear.
All right, we're back here now. All right. So I just got to be closer. Hopefully we can hear the music. All right, so when you come back, Erin, we'll have you pick up from your listings. As soon as you're done, we're going to go straight to Mel. Okay?
Okay, I'm going to cut it short then.
That's fine.
So we can spend time with them.
You know I try to be a good man, I always give it my best. But truth be told, someday I wanna go to the wild, wild west.
Real Estate Jerky is back on Power Talk 1360. Chew on that.
Hey, we're back with Sunshine and Lemonade with Mel Bradley. Right? How you
Yes,
doing,
we
Mel?
are.
All right. Hey, Erin, you want to finish your listings, and then we will get right in with Mel.
Okay, so I wanted to say that in Salida, there are two beautiful little listings. They're first-time buyer programs. One is for $290 over on Rollingwood, and there's another on Wincanton Way for $299. So this will fit with your first-time buyer programs. In Turlock, there were 1, 2,
Hey, Erin.
3.
Can you talk in the mic?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so there are 3 in Turlock, 3
killing
2,
the engineer
3
today.
1, and 3 2, and that's 291, 274, and 289 in Turlock. So I'm loving Turlock this week as well.
Same as last week.
I know. In Oakdale, we found a beautiful little home on Smithwood for 274, and on Applegate, we found a 3-3 for 300,000. So that'd
Really?
be nice for a first-time buyer with a full family of children. Also in Oakdale, we found one for $247. It ends up being a 3-2, adorable, looks like townhome. And then on Turnberry Lane, we found one for $299, and it's a 4-2. So there's tons of first-time homes out there for you, and they say that of all the people that want to buy a house, 80% of them are afraid to start. So we want to
Wow.
help you with that. So give us a call here, pound 250, say Real Estate Jerky, and we will come on and help you out.
Hey, Erin, what's your cell number if they want to get a hold of you after that?
209 380-2142. And what's your cell number, Ed? Because they have to get pre-approved.
My office number is 209-846-9270. All right.
Okay.
All right, let's get to Mel Bradley. So Mel, I know you from Team and Training, but I also know you have a solar business. What do you want to talk about first?
Let's talk about team and training.
Okay. Why don't you give a little history behind how you got involved, and we'll go from there.
Okay. Well, in the very beginning, third generation Modesan, born and raised about a mile from where we're sitting right now, and married my high school sweetheart out of Downey High School in 1969. Yes, that means I'm very old. And
Erin's right there with you, so you know.
Oh, wow.
Good company.
No, I didn't graduate till 75. So you're older.
Class of 66.
Yeah, see, he's 9 years older than me, mister.
So in 1969, we got married, which was much to my surprise. I didn't figure she would ever even give me a second look. But
Isn't that how for most men?
boy, I got lucky. I'll tell you that. And we had a wonderful life for about 30 years. I had a daughter, and I had a good job. She had a business, and things were going along wonderfully until 1996, when she went in for what we thought was routine surgery and was diagnosed with stage 3 ovarian cancer.
I'm sorry to hear that.
We fought that for 9 years. About every 3 years, it would come back, more chemo, more radiation, more surgery. And in 2005, she was diagnosed with leukemia. And I believe what probably happened is all the chemo and radiation just took a toll on her body, and she developed leukemia. We spent 6 months at Stanford, gave her a bone marrow transplant, which turned out to be ultimately unsuccessful. And in September of 2005, she passed away. And as you mentioned, I think I've decided to turn my life into trying to take that bucket of lemons and turn it into some lemonade. And I'm doing that through an organization called Team and Training. Team and Training is a fundraising branch of the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. And what we basically do is we'll take anybody, and I do mean anybody, so irregardless of age, size, weight.
That's how you got in there.
That's right. They took anybody. And you're talking any level of
Experience.
That's right, because you get them from beginning to end.
Yep.
Really experienced to no experience at all, and can barely get on a bike.
Yep.
Right.
And
so, Erin, here you go.
He falls off of his training bike.
Oh, no.
The one that stays in place.
Let's not interrupt him about Peloton.
Sorry.
So I decided they do a number of things. They'll train you to, if you want to run marathons, they'll train you to do triathlons. In my world, we ride bikes, and we're fortunate we get to ride our bike around Lake Tahoe. And the name of the ride is America's Most Beautiful Bike Ride, and I don't think they're kidding when they named it that. It really is a pretty ride.
How long is the ride?
It comes in a half a lake, 35-mile flavor, a 72-mile flavor, which is the perimeter of the lake. Or if you're really crazy like this guy over here named Ed, you can do a 100-mile version of the ride.
How long does it take to do 100 miles?
I've done the ride 14 times. My best time to do 100 miles is 6 hours of ride time. Probably another hour and a half of stopping for rest stops and things like that. So 7.5 hours of clock time.
Yeah, somebody asked me the other day, how long is that? How many days is that? I'm like, it's not days. It's half of a day. It's
Exactly.
8 hours.
Exactly. And it's one of the things I really like to emphasize is I don't really care how fast. I have people that take 10 hours to do the ride. I have people that can do it in under 5. And so that really is a wide ride spectrum. And it's something I would really like to make clear to if anybody's interested in joining us in this effort is doing it is the important thing. Going out there, having a good time, raising some money for a really great cause, and doing something you probably never thought you could do in your life. So we're just getting started with doing the training. As I said, my world is the bike world, so I spend 17 weeks training people. We're just getting started training right now for a June 2nd ride. So we'll spend a lot of the next Saturdays, if this rain will go away on Saturdays, doing training, we start off very slow, and every week we just up it a little bit, and at the end of 18 weeks, you're ready to go do a bike ride around Lake Tahoe.
Wow, that's amazing. And then, so you got involved What, in 2006 with this, and you were training up in Sacramento, if I remember right?
That's right.
And then after about 6 years, you finally got it down here.
Yeah.
Is that how that worked?
Yeah, what happened is there was no bike program down here with Team in Training, so I had to actually drive for 18 Saturdays for 6 years to Sacramento to get the training, and I kept complaining about that. As Ed can attest, I'm not a quiet person when something's not going the way I want it to go. And so I decided to, they asked me to start a training program down here in the Modesto area, I think quite frankly just to make me be quiet. And so we did. In 2012, we had our first cycle team here. We only had 12 riders, and we raised about 40 grand. Fast forward to last year, I had 67 riders, and we raised $365,000 for the Leukemia Society just riding bikes around Lake Tahoe.
What's the grand total you've raised total for the year?
Thank you. We just crossed $1 million since we started this team in 2012. So this Modesto, Oakdale, Stanislaus County, area code 209, however you want to think about the greater area here, has ponied up over $1 million. And I'm going this year to raise another $400,000.
And then what did you come in team-wise with all the other teams? How would that work out for you the last year?
Thank you. They rank the teams by how much money they raise every year, and for the last 3 years, this little old team out of this area has been the number one team in the nation. I mean, that's against all markets, L.A., Chicago, New York, you name it. We were the top fundraising team 3 years in a row, and Ed, we're going to do it again. This is going to be number 4.
Great.
So how do you raise the money? So what happens?
Yeah, so pretty much what happens when you decide to sign up and join us is we will give you a web page that's your personal web page. You can customize it any way you want. Put pictures up, put why you're doing this, why it's important. And on that web page will be a donate button. So people can go to your web page, click on donate, click how much money they want to donate, hand in their credit card, and life is good.
Amazing.
So basically, each person who rides, they get so much. They go and get so much for the team. And then you started doing more corporate sponsors last year, right? That was your first year with major corporate sponsors?
Yeah, last year was the 30th year for Team in Training. It was their 30th anniversary, and so they had incentives for anything with a 30 in it. So if a rider raised $30,000, they got some very special recognition up at Tahoe. If a team could raise $300,000 in a season, they got recognition. Well, anybody that knows me knows I'm just a little bit competitive. So when that came out, I tried to figure out how in the heck we were going to raise $300,000. We typically had been raising around $200,000 with the size of the team we could raise around here. And we decided to turn to corporate sponsors. And I was shocked at the generosity of the companies in this area and their willingness to step up. I ended up getting 40 companies to step up, and those 40 companies donated $140,000 to the team.
Hey, Mel, we're going to pick this up when we get back. We got to take another break. Hey, we like to honor our local veterans out there. So if you know a business owner who is a veteran of the armed forces, please get in touch with us. Next week's guest is Kyle Helton, U.S. Air Force Reserves and owner of Drain Masters Plumbing. Don't go away. We'll be right back taking your calls here at Real Estate Jerky. Dial pound 250 from your cell phone. Say the keywords Real Estate Jerky. And from your landline, it's 209-551-3483. And we'll talk to you when we get back. All right, so we're doing good there. Hey, Erin, you're bringing us back in.
What, honey?
You're bringing us back in.
Of course I am.
Just reminding you.
I thought
How well do you know Mike?
Mike.
Segaris.
Oh, Mike? Okay.
He's trying to see if he can get him some money.
I can't get, Mike is a classmate of mine from Downey 66, and I cannot get him to step up.
Have you asked him?
Yep, twice, 2 years in a row.
Wow. So he hired me. He recruited me. I just joined PMC this year.
Okay.
So last year in May. So I haven't gotten my 1 year.
I've got a couple of his realtors, I forget their names now, that donate because they've been affected one way or another by leukemia or cancer or whatever. So, but I cannot get Mike he's one of my corporate sponsors last year. And I can't get Mike on that list.
All right. As you know, I don't ask any questions I don't know the answer to already. I'm like an attorney.
You did great, thanks. I mean,
I listened to your thing, and plus,
those were pitches over the plate, you know. So.
Are we going to, in this segment, talk about solar, or do we want to finish up with this?
well, we're going to finish with a little bit more, and then we can go right into solar, and then in the last segment, we can pick up whatever you want to go over for us.
Okay.
Because there's something I wanted to go over. I got to find it. So when he's talking, he's talking, I'm going to find it.
Okay, you guys ready?
Yep.
You know I try to be a good man. I always give it my best. But truth be told, someday I wanna go to the wild, wild way.
Leaving the bull behind. It's Real Estate Jerky.
So we're back with Mel Bradley, Mr. Sunshine and Lemonade. Actually, bike riders call him Coach. Call us with your questions. It's super easy. Dial pound 250 or hashtag 250 and use the key phrase Real Estate Jerky. By the way, pound 250 or hashtag 250 works 24/7 and we love it. You can also reach out to us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, or email us at radio@realestatejerky.com. Well, welcome back, Mel. Why don't you go finish up, Ed, with all the things that you wanted
All right.
to
So
do.
when we left off, we talked about how much you've raised and how much you want to raise more. And then why don't you tell somebody how they get in touch with you?
Perfect. Yeah, that's what's going to be important if we're going to do that raise more thing. So there's 3 ways to be involved with Team in Training, and all of this can be found on team209.org. That's our webpage. It's a webpage just for our local area here, and it's got all kinds of information on how to be involved, as well as a little bit of background about us. But I'm interested in talking to 3 groups: people that are interested in riding with us. As I said a moment ago, we're just getting started with the training, so it's not too late to join us. So if you're interested in riding with us, you can go to team209.org, or you can give me a phone call. I'll put the phone number up in a minute. I'm also very interested in corporate sponsors. I'd always love to grow the corporate sponsorship. So if there's a corporate sponsor out there that's interested in supporting a really, really great cause, get a hold of me. Again, team209.org is the easiest place to go. And lastly, if you want to just donate, if you've been affected by cancer, you know somebody that's been affected by cancer, you want to support us in what we're doing, you can just go again to that webpage, team209.org, and hit on the donate button. It's a big red button on the webpage, and it's pretty obvious what to do after that.
All right. Sounds good.
You know, I just wanted to say that life happens, and then when it does, you can choose to do something positive or wallow in your misery. And he chose to do something really excellent to feature all the people out there that need help in this area, plus honor his wife. And I think it's amazing. And I think when we're successful in business, we should give back. And so thanks, Mel. I really appreciate it.
Thange you very
You're an
much.
Inspiration.
You going to put your checkbook behind your mouth?
I'm going to work. I already told you. Yeah. Give me
Hey,
some
Mel,
approval.
I'll do $2,500 again this year.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
My company.
Now,
So.
see, now I have to add another thing to what great happened today.
There you go.
Yay.
And I'll work on Erin for you.
Okay.
Yeah. No, we'll get you. I'll come in. I will. We'll get
Well,
you
you know
all
what's great about
squared
this program is people are, bicycle riding is easy to first of all learn. Most people learn how to ride a bike when they were younger, but for exercise wise, it is easier on a bike than it is to run or do other things. So if you're thinking about it, I would definitely recommend it because they start off at a very slow pace. I mean, the mileage is not that great the first thing. I mean, people are amazed that they can ride 10 miles like that.
Yes, they are.
You're not walking it. It's a lot longer when you walk it than
Yes.
as you ride it, and you don't have to have the perfect bike. You can start off with just a regular bike. You can borrow a bike to get out there to see if it's something you want to do, right?
Yep. We even have loaner bikes. So absolutely, borrow from a friend. We'll loan you a bike, whatever.
All right.
I think it's amazing. Good job.
Yeah,
Zach.
I think it is too. Especially how much money this local. See, Stanislaus County and this area, we give a lot.
Yes,
Right?
we do.
More than any other area, and we're not one of the richest areas around.
Right.
Nope.
No, and we give more than San Francisco, which is one of the richest areas of the Bay Area. So that's amazing what we do here and what we take care of our, different things that's important to
It
us.
starts at the top, so good job there.
All right, anything else you want to add, or you want to get
Yeah.
right into solar?
Yeah, just one thing. We didn't talk much about what the money actually goes for, what the Leukemia Society uses this much money for. So I'll briefly touch on it. You may have heard of a whole new approach to treating cancer called immunotherapy. The idea, the concept is to reprogram your immune system to see your cancer as a problem, and your own immune system fights it. It does not involve chemo. It does not involve radiation. It's a completely different approach, and it's really starting to take hold. It was first developed for blood cancers because blood cancers are a little different animal to attack, but it's now actually spreading into the many of the oncology disciplines: breast cancer, lung cancer, colon cancer, etc. This concept of using your own immune system to fight your disease, to reprogram your immune system to see the disease and take it on. I believe, I'm not a doctor, I'm an engineer, but I believe the day will come when that will be, some version of immunotherapy will be the way that cancer is treated going forward. And the days of chemo and radiation and all that entails will be ancient history.
Wow.
And, it's amazing how many people have been affected by cancer. What I
Yep.
mean? Like myself, my dad died of hairy cell leukemia, which was from Agent Orange being in the Vietnam and all that. He worked on airplanes as a mechanic, and it was over there where they sprayed it, and he
Yep.
got it that way. So it's amazing when you think about it. You can get in a room, there's so many people can raise a hand who know somebody that had cancer or
Yep.
themselves.
Yep.
All right. So let's get into his other thing.
Well,
Solar.
you take
Okay,
my
that's
breath
not-
away. Thank you so much for your service, and we'll look forward to how we can help you in this endeavor. And my mom died of lung cancer, and I lost her early. She died 20 years ago. So yes, this is
Yeah.
really wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah. It's hard to find anybody that hasn't been affected by cancer in some
Sure.
way.
Okay, well, I needed to know about your solar company. Tell me what set you aside. Ed says you have your own niche.
Yeah. When I'm an electrical engineer by education, and worked actually for PG&E for 36 years. Retired as an executive
Amazing.
back in 2000, and decided that after about a year of being retired, that I wasn't cut out to be retired, and I needed to find something to do. And so I went and got my electrical contractor's license in 2000, and I originally was doing typical residential and commercial wiring. I tired of that, and I'm now doing just solar. In 2006, I decided to change the business into simply a solar business, and more specifically, a ground-mounted solar business. As I mentioned earlier, I'm a little old, and being on a roof at my age is probably not a smart thing. So,
Or anybody's age. It's really a bad thing to be on.
so I just do ground-mounted solar, either mounted right on the ground or near the ground, and I now have kind of an elevated solar, think patio cover or carport, to where you can have some shade, protect, whatever you want to protect from the sun. So I do those two versions of solar now as my main business.
Well, okay, so that's interesting because, and when I sell houses, there are a lot of problems, not a lot, but problems sometimes with solar because the tiles get broken.
Yes.
When they go up there to service them, they break tiles and we have roof problems, and it drives me crazy. The second thing that I wanted to ask you about with that was, how do you bill? Is it a lease? Is it a purchase? A lot of times when I'm transferring homes, they have to go and release that whole out, and then the leasing company has to pull off of title so that we can do the loan. Then they go back on title. Or we just had a situation where we weren't able to put a deal together because my buyer was going to have to pay $25,000 more for the house because that seller had to pay off the whole solar package. And so we had to move on to a different property. So talk to me about what it means to a buyer that's looking into solar, how they can do it the least expensive and to have the best.
And again, it's only standalone units, so that
Right.
you can't do.
That makes me happy. Can't you get all the solar panels on the one patio cover?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on obviously how much electricity you're using, as to what size how many solar panels, what size the system's going to be. But a fairly typical system would be about 12 feet by 40 feet, something like that, in area. That would be the size of the solar panels. a couple of the reasons that I like ground-mounted solar over roof, you talked about roof damage and those kinds of things. The other thing is, especially here in the valley, is in the summertime the solar panels have to be cleaned about 3 or 4 times because it's just all the dust from the harvest and stuff that it's in the air in the summertime. And cleaning a set of panels that are on the ground is a whole lot easier and a whole lot safer and a whole lot more convenient to do than trying to clean a bunch of solar panels that are up on the top of a 1 or 2 story house. So it's one of the reasons that I really encourage people that if you have enough room to think about ground-mounted solar. As far as how to pay for it and the financing and that kind of stuff, almost all of my customers pay cash from my perspective. I'm too small to be thinking about financing or anything like that. I do not get involved with leases at all. I haven't had any of those. I know they're out there. I know there are companies that will do that. I'm not one of them. So I look for customers to simply pay me for the solar system up front, and then it's theirs.
Oh,
and
okay.
and typically for one of my customers, if we can get the solar system installed and paid for and paid back by what you're not paying the utility in 5 years, then I'm a happy boy. I think I like that to where the customer has paid off the system in 5 years, and after that, it's free electricity for another 20 years. We have to warranty them for 25 years.
Wow. I think we need to take us out for a break there, Erin, and then we'll
Okay.
pick this up when we get back.
Well, we heard how Mel pays his bills, so now we're going to pay some of our own, right? Okay. So thank you for listening to Real Estate Jerky, where tough meets tender in the real estate industry. And we'll be right back after this break. Every week I read this big, long thing about how you can reach us. Just Google Real Estate Jerky, and you'll see we're everywhere, and you can listen anytime. I love being cool. Is that cool to say?
I don't know.
Okay, let's be cool.
All right. Maybe it has to do with solar. I don't know.
Okay, I missed what you said about if they pay you cash up front, but then you talked about them paying it off in 5 years. You're talking about
No, he's talking
when
about
they're paying their bill,
Yeah.
it should pay for itself in 5 years?
So, and we can go through this if you want. Let's just take a $30,000.
What was your timing on that last segment?
Right around 11.
Let's take a $30,000 system. Then the first thing up front is you get a 30% tax credit, not deduction, credit, okay? So as soon as you file your taxes, you get $9,000 back, okay?
So then you get
You said they still get that.
They get that.
Okay, so we would need to talk about
Yeah.
this when we come back.
So now that $30,000 system is really a $21,000 system.
Okay, then-
And that system would, and that customer for that size system would probably have a PG&E bill of about $4 or $5 grand a year, okay? Is what they're paying to PG&E in a year.
So that's like
Okay.
$400 a month.
$400 or $500 a month. Yeah, exactly, in that range. So if you think about, take $4,000 a year as your electric bill, and you were out $21,000 for the solar system after taxes, in 5 years you got your money back. 5.1, 5.2, whatever that comes out, okay? You got your money back, and then you're done. I mean, the solar system is paid for, no
Let me know
more
whenever you
PG&E
guys are
bill,
ready.
we're done.
All right,
Wow.
you guys ready? So when we come back, I'll bring this in and then,
I'll ask.
yeah, and then go through that. And then,
Okay,
one of the things is, but they can get financing somewhere else.
they can,
Yeah.
yeah.
You don't know what they
Is
use.
it a personal loan or what?
Yeah, that's what he called me about. We can,
Oh, so do you refinance?
yeah, you can either refinance or you can
Or
get
do
a
you do
second.
equity?
We're gonna go back. We'll do this when we go back.
I'll let it handle that part.
You know I try to be a good man. I always give it my best. But truth be told, someday I wanna go to the wild, wild way.
Real Estate Jerky.
Sorry, hold on, better do this.
We're consistent anyway.
Yeah, he messed up, but not us.
You know I try to be a good man. I always give it my best. But truth be told, someday I wanna go to the wild, wild way.
Real Estate Jerky is back on Power Talk 1360. Chew on that.
Hey, this is Ed Parco. I'm here with my co-host Erin Custer, and we're here for the last segment of this. I can't believe it's the last segment. I say that every week, right?
Yes, you do.
It goes so fast.
But it does. It really does go fast.
And we're here with Mel Bradley talking about solar right now. And let's pick up where you left off. You were talking about how the payback for someone in the system costs them about $30,000 and what the payback should be. So I'll let you have it.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, a typical system will run, depending on, obviously, on your electric bill. Your typical system is going to run anywhere from about 20,000 is probably about the smallest system I install, to maybe up around 50,000 for a really, really large home. Let's take a $30,000 system, which is fairly typical or fairly average for me. So $30,000 is a lot of money. I don't care who you are. That's a lot of money to think about. But it starts to pay for itself fairly quickly. Up front, right when you file your income taxes, you're going to get a 30% tax credit. That's the same as withholding. That's the same as paying your estimated taxes. It's not a tax deduction. It's a tax credit of 30% on a $30,000 system. That's $9,000. So now your out-of-pocket expenses after taxes is $21,000 for that $30,000 system. If you're paying in the range of $4,000 a year, which would be about the match for a $30,000 system in electric, to your electric utility, then if we do the math on that, just a little over 5 years, you have recovered that $21,000 by not paying PG&E and instead paying for that electric system, that solar system. And then after that, quite frankly, other than washing the system a few times a year, there is no ongoing maintenance costs to the system. And so you basically now are in a position that you have free electricity, or said slightly differently, that $4,000 bill, which is likely to keep growing over time, is gone.
So, question. What say if you don't use all of your electricity and the solar panels, will they feed back to PG&E and will you get credits?
Yeah. In fact, if you think about the day, that happens every day. It's fairly typical for a solar system in the summertime to actually be making more electricity because we have so much sun than you're probably using, especially if you're not home. Okay. And that does, in fact, go back to PG&E as a credit, okay, at exactly the same price that you would have paid for the electricity had you been using it at that moment in time. So no discount, no nothing else. So basically, PG&E basically sets up a checking account, for lack of better words, that at certain times of the day is being credited with excess solar generation. And at nighttime, obviously the sun's not shining. You're probably home. You're using electricity, and therefore you're debiting that account. At the end of 12 months, not every month, okay, at the end of 12 months, you and PG&E are going to settle up. One of you owes somebody some money. Okay. And if we design the solar system right, that's a small amount of money. I mean, it's a few $100s going one way or the other because of the way you used your system that year, how much sun we got, how much rain we got, whatever.
So what if a panel becomes damaged and it has to be replaced?
Okay, we have to warranty the manufacturers actually have to warranty the panels for 25 years. So if it's damaged, meaning that the panel has failed for some reason, I have yet to have one of those in my 18 years of experience, then the manufacturer will replace it. If it's damaged because your kid shot it with a BB gun, that's a different problem.
Right, that's on you.
Is the manufacturing local or is it far away?
The panels I use are Canadian Solar Panels is the title of the company. Some of them are actually made in Canada. Some of them are made actually in China.
And then if somebody wanted to pay cash for the system and they don't have any money, what do you suggest they do?
What do you mean want to pay cash?
Well, they have to pay you cash and they don't have $30,000. What do you suggest?
Yeah, so actually I'm going to maybe punt that a little bit to Ed. From my perspective, I am looking for a check once the job is installed, inspected by the county, approved by PG&E, then you owe me some money. Now, whether that's the inheritance or your financing or whatever. Ed, you want to help me out?
I mean, they could actually do a refinance and take the money out of their house. That way, they could do a second mortgage on the house. They could do a small personal loan for $30,000.
Sure.
And then pay themselves back. You know, when they get that tax credit, that means if they owed $9,000, they wouldn't owe $9,000 if they were. Otherwise, they would get $9,000 back, right? Basically, end of the year. So basically, then they would take that $9,000, pay down that loan, and then I actually ran the number $21,000 divided by 350 is 60 months. So
There you go.
Yeah,
It's like
correct.
a car.
Yeah.
All right. And so,
So it's pretty easy. It's just you don't. For most people, the whole leasing thing, it's come up many times when we're doing a purchase or whatever, and it really messes with the transaction. And people don't, when they do the leasing, they don't think anything and that they're leaving. Right? Everybody does this for a long term.
so somebody buys a panel, a set of panels from you and install in their home. What do you find how do you find the increase, or how do you set the value that adds to the home?
I haven't been asked that question.
Okay.
I mean, I guess I would look at it as at least a minimum value to the home is let's talk about that typical system I was just talking about that doesn't have a $4,000 electric bill that comes with that house.
Sure.
It's pretty easy to think about the present worth of that number, over time. And that'd be, I guess, one way to think about it. Again, I might punt to Ed a little bit.
And that would be appraiser. We're going to have
Let's
an
ask
appraiser
our
on down
appraiser
the road.
what he says about that.
Because I don't know how much value it gets. I haven't seen that.
I was wondering, on that size system, would that fit a 1,500 square foot home, or
Probably
a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, or more?
Typically, the customers that to get to that $4,000 a year electric bill in say a PG&E service territory, you're probably talking a larger home. So you're probably talking north of 2,500 square feet, maybe up around 3,000 typically. 2 air conditioners, that's usually the thing that's driving bills here in the valley a lot, is the air conditioning load in the summertime. So it'd probably be a 1,500 square foot house. It would be very unusual to have a bill that high.
Okay. How much of a system would you need for that?
Well,
That would be a smaller system. Right.
And you get to a point, and this is my personal philosophy. I'm not sure that all the solar people feel this way, but if your bill is less than about $3,000 a year, then I don't think solar makes sense. The return on investment gets too long. You start talking about 7, 8, 9, 10 years to get your money back because you're not using very much electricity, okay? And so I don't personally recommend solar for customers that fall in that world of less than $3,000 a year in electric costs.
Now, weren't they talking about some legislation that would state that everybody has to have solar? Like, I know in Stockton, you can't even build a house. So
But I don't know if that one came into play yet, has it?
It's
all new homes.
It starts in 2020. I think that all new homes built after 2020 will have to have solar.
But that's going to be put in by the builder.
Yes,
so
that'll be
that's
part
not
of the
going
home.
to be after the fact. So my biggest thing with any of that is you just said you have to clean them 3 times, right, a year.
4.
How no one's going up on the roof cleaning those things.
Exactly, and that's a problem. And it's one of the reasons that I don't personally put solar on roofs. I realize some people have to do it; they have no other choice given their lots and so on and so forth. But cleaning them. If you don't clean them, you're going to lose somewhere between 10 and 20% of the output of the solar panel.
How do you clean them?
Just soap and water.
Wow.
And a Swiffer mop. You know?
Same way you do your windows.
Yeah.
Same way you do your windows. There you go.
Actually, I hire my windows done.
So you would hire somebody to do it also.
And there are people out there that do that.
Really?
Yes,
You're
there are
specialized?
people that will come and clean your solar panels for a fee.
Wow.
That's just interesting. What a wonderful thing. I'm just wondering if for the smaller houses like these 3-2s that we're putting together here, if that's worth doing a solar system. And you're
No,
saying
you just
probably
said
no.
because it's
Yeah.
and what I see is mostly people spend a lot of money during the summer months because of air conditioning. Get a new air conditioner. That saves you the money right there.
That's true.
Make sure you get a home warranty on your house when you purchase it, so that way if it fails, you can get a new one and then get an update. Because we did that to our house on Brady, and drastic. We had a 25, 30-year-old unit up there, and we put the new one in, and it's amazing what it does differently. It keeps the house so much cooler. You can
Really?
huge difference.
That's a really good point, Ed.
Yeah.
And I wanted to know, what do people normally ask you? What are the major things that they're wanting to know when they're first talking to you about their
Hey, Erin, we got 1 minute left of our show.
Oh, we can't ask anymore? We have to bring him back.
Yes, we will. Maybe we'll just bring him back for just solar.
Okay. No, but I'm so thankful you shared with us your dream and what you're doing for the Valley here and how you're helping save lives. So thank you.
Thank you. I don't think I gave my phone number.
Go ahead and give it.
Yeah. So if you're interested in team and training, as I said before, you can go to teamandtraining.org. I'm sorry, team209.org, or you can give me a phone call. My cell phone number is 209-765-7009. And the same on the solar. If you're interested at all in ground-mounted solar system, 209-765-7009.
All right, I got to cut you off. I got to say something now.
I'm done.
All right, we're here at the end of our show. Pretty sure we gave you plenty to chew on. Mel, thank you so much for coming in here. Now everybody knows how to reach you. Next week's show is No Drain, No Gain with Kyle Helton, Drain Masters. And remember, you can listen to us anytime via podcast, and that's on iTunes podcast, that's on Google Play, that's on Hisher, that's on Spotify. We're pretty much everywhere. So, and if you need to get a hold of us, just email us at radio@realestatejerky.com, and we'll see you next week. Bye, Erin.
See you next
Bye,
week.
Mel.
Happy Valentine's.
Thanks so much.
Sometimes I wanna be Jesse James.